A man swallows an inconspicuous red stone and shocks the most powerful leader of the demonic cult. Because this unremarkable stone is the greatest treasure of the cult, the Jade of Heaven. After swallowing the Jade of Heaven, my consciousness arrives at a strange place. An old man murmurs, "You lunatic, how dare you swallow it so recklessly? It seals souls." I see him floating above the ground, walking through the air. I know at once that he must be a great master. According to him, the Jade of Heaven I swallowed seals countless souls of masters. Because I swallowed it, those souls that cannot return to heaven can only attach to my soul. Whenever I try to sleep, the souls will wake me up. Whenever I eat, they will share the energy from my food. Even people I touch will be possessed by them, and my internal energy will rapidly increase to a level I cannot bear, eventually going berserk. Hearing this, I am overjoyed. The old man thinks I might be an idiot for considering losing control in my energy a good thing. Suddenly, an overwhelming aura erupts from the old man. He demands to know why I swallowed the Jade of Heaven. I feel he could kill me with just his gaze. I honestly explain that I didn't swallow it because I wanted to. My purpose was to prevent the leader of the demonic cult from eating it. The old man asks why. I say it's because I hate the cult leader. He never treats people as human beings. Once he becomes powerful, the consequences will be unimaginable. The old man thinks for a moment and sees I did this out of good intentions. So he gives me one last chance. He explains that he is also being punished, so he cannot help me in the future. I don't understand what he's talking about, but the old man just murmurs, "It will become your greatest gift." Then the Jade of Heaven in his hand bursts with brilliant light. The next second, I instantly lose consciousness. After who knows how long, I wake up in bed. But this is clearly the inn I stayed at when I was young. Before my rebirth, I was called the Mad Demon and was being hunted by the demonic cult, although I traveled the martial world for many years and did many heroic deeds. My infamy in the martial world even exceeded that of the officer of Shining Light in the demonic cult. During the pursuit, at least 100 of elite members from the cult died by my hand. Now cornered into a desperate situation, the Jade of Heaven in my hand is my only bargaining chip, but I swallow it without hesitation. I didn't expect this thing to taste like peach. Seeing this, the officer of Shining Light instantly rages and orders his subordinates to capture me alive for the cult leader. Dozens of people charge at me. I begin gathering my strength. Then I throw a punch, and all the attacking cult members are blasted away. I mock the officer of Shining Light, asking how many more of his men he wants to die. "You've been chasing me day and night, completely disregarding your subordinates' lives, just to drain my stamina. It's come to this point now. You should fight me yourself." Hearing my words, he is enraged and orders his subordinates to stand down. I mock him for being a coward when I was at my best, only to emerge and act arrogantly when I am injured. The officer of Shining Light roars, "Shut up!" I concentrate my internal energy, ready to strike. Although I'm severely injured, dealing with him should still be more than enough. The powerful explosion robs everyone else of their senses. I also fly backward. In my current state, it's indeed a mutual destruction outcome. The officer of Shining Light can't believe I could unleash such power while severely injured. As the smoke clears, he realizes I've fallen off the cliff. He roars in fury, "No, I have no fear before death, only wishing that their leader will kill them all." The officer of Shining Light immediately orders his men, "Search below the cliff, find him alive or bring back his corpse." As my consciousness fades, I wonder why I had no luck with romance in this life. After that, I encountered the mysterious old man and returned to the present. At this time, I'm only about 20 years old, still doing odd jobs at the family inn. Suddenly, I realized that this way, I can start practicing martial arts several years earlier. And since I've already experienced it once, I can definitely break through levels faster than before. That means I can become even more powerful than before. At this moment, I feel a sharp pain at the corner of my mouth. I wonder if I was beaten. Walking out of the room, I find the inn in complete chaos. I finally remember what time it is now. Back then, a customer asked me what's the point of working so hard to save money. I thought, I can't say it's because I'm an orphan that I'm desperately saving money. Since they're just asking casually, I'll just brush it off with a joke. I jokingly said I have a wish to hear Che Hyang from the Plum Blossom Pavilion sing a song, but those people immediately spread rumors that the errand boy from the Jaha Inn is desperately saving money to spend a night with Che Hyang. Somehow, this rumor spread. Thinking about it makes me angry. I just made a joke, and they beat me like a dog and trashed the inn like this. I immediately plan to check my physical condition first before deciding how to handle this. So I first try the art of the journey through the distant golden land that I practiced after becoming the mad demon in my past life. Suddenly I'm shocked to discover there's internal energy inside my body. I shouldn't have any internal energy at this time. Yet now my body contains astonishing internal energy. Although I don't know why, I believe it must be my opportunity. Then I start practicing the art of the journey through the distant golden land. The sun gradually sets. After finishing practice, I find it truly unbelievable. Even though I know this technique inside out, how could I break through the first level so easily? Suddenly I remember what that old man said, "It will become your greatest gift." I wonder, is this what he meant? What's more, I sense an unusual energy inside my body. I don't know if it's related to the Jade of Heaven I swallowed. It is a pity that I only have half my former strength now, but there's no need to rush. The internal energy in my body is already astonishing. Improving it will surely be easier and faster. Suddenly my stomach rumbles. I was so focused on practicing the technique that I didn't notice how much time had passed. So I plan to take a walk around Riyang County first, looking at the familiar scene before me. I finally feel the reality of having returned to the past. Someone on the street remarks, "Isn't that the errand boy from the Jaha Inn? I heard he got beaten a few days ago. It looks like he can walk around now. How pathetic." That's right, I remember. At this time, people called me the errand boy from the inn. They ignored me and didn't treat me as a person. Damn it, the more I think about it, the angrier I get. Suddenly, my steps stop. In my memory, this seems to be the Plum Blossom Pavilion. Back then, the guards at the Plum Blossom Pavilion beat me and cursed, "You errand boy, how dare you fantasize about Che Hyang, the best entertainer at our Plum Blossom Pavilion." I was beaten black and blue. I wanted to defend myself, but no one listened. In despair, I looked up and saw Che Hyang even looking at me with contempt. But I wanted to explain that I never said anything like that. In the end, I dragged my injured body back to the inn. People passing by laughed loudly, saying, "Well beaten, serves him right." Back then, I had no idea what I did wrong. Now looking back, even I, the mighty mad demon, had such experiences. Since I've come back, I must clear up this misunderstanding. At this moment, a man mocks me. "What are you looking at, crybaby? You were humiliated a few days ago and now you're fine again? You were beaten like that, and instead of staying quietly at the inn, you're wandering around?" He wonders why I don't speak and says viciously, "Did they beat your ears deaf too?" But I just ask him what his name is. The man immediately gets angry and tries to strike. I simply sidestep and easily dodge his attack. Then I slap him with one palm. He's instantly knocked down, lying motionless on the ground. I say curiously, "I just asked who you are. Why did you suddenly attack?" Then I walk toward the Plum Blossom Pavilion. The guard recognizes me and shouts at me to get lost. I'm not provoked and ask if this is their way of treating guests. The guard gets furious and tries to attack. I easily dodge his attack and knock him out with one slap. I say calmly, "Your service attitude is terrible. No professionalism at all." After that, I directly open the doors of the Plum Blossom Pavilion. Looking at this scene, I immediately sneer. Then I shout loudly, "What are you all doing? Hurry up and greet your guest!" Everyone stops what they're doing and looks at me. I stare back at them with a confident smile. Someone recognizes me as the errand boy from the Jaha Inn. Seeing this, they start wondering if I got brain damage from the beating a few days ago. Two guards shout angrily, "Are you crazy? Do you know what place this is? How dare you come here?" I reply, "Of course it's a place to drink. You think I don't even know that?" Just as the guards are about to attack, someone tells them to bring me up. I have some impression of the person speaking. It's the manager of the Plum Blossom Pavilion, Cha Song Tae. Cha Song Tae says, "Those who enter are guests. Don't treat them differently. Treat guests with respect." I glance at him coldly and ask the two guards, "Did you hear that?" Then Cha Song Tae orders a disdainful tone, "Quickly prepare a lavish banquet for the errand boy from the Jaha Inn. After all, when will he ever have another chance to come to a place like this? Everyone serve him with all your heart." After that, I'm led to a room on the second floor. The server impatiently asks what I want to drink. I snap back rudely, "I've never been here. How would I know what you have? Just bring me the expensive stuff." The server is immediately annoyed. "How are you talking to me?" I say disdainfully, "What, does it offend you to be ordered around by an errand boy? Well, I'm truly sorry, now hurry up and get me my drink." The server thinks, that errand boy must be crazy. If it weren't for Seong Tae's orders. Finally he says please wait and leaves. Soon I quietly look at the lavish banquet before me without moving. I ask the person beside me what kind of liquor this is. The woman answers it's premium liquor. I continue asking if Che Hyang is here. The woman says, "I heard you just got beaten because of Che Hyang a few days ago." I warn her to mind her own business and quickly call Che Hyang for me. The woman tries to maintain a smile and says she'll pass along my message. After she leaves, the room is left with just me again. I pick up the cup and taste the liquor. I discover they're making a fool of me. This liquor is completely inferior. Those bastards are truly disgusting. At this moment, urgent footsteps sound outside the door. The person roars, "You bastard, are you crazy? Do you know where this is? How dare you barge in?" I darken my face and ask, "Is it really so unreasonable for me to come here to drink? Your name is Donghua, right? Come sit. I'll pour you a cup." Donghua sits down rudely and asks, puzzled, "Did you get brain damage from the last beating?" I ignore him and quietly pour a cup of liquor. I hand the cup to him. Donghua says in a low voice, "You better drink this cup and get lost obediently." Seeing I'm ignoring him, he immediately rages and slams the cup on the table, shouting angrily, "You little punk." Seeing this, I directly pierce his palm with chopsticks, pinning it to the table. "Donghua, I have to ask why you're so rude. I just wanted to drink quietly, meet Miss Che Hyang and leave. Why are you all acting like mad dogs non-stop?" At this moment, someone else walks in. She is the Plum Blossom Pavilion's best entertainer, Che Hyang. I pull out the chopsticks and tell Donghua to leave first. Then I smile and look at Che Hyang. She doesn't understand why I'm smiling. Does an errand boy need to control the expressions when coming to a place like this? Che Hyang doesn't understand. "Do you think it's funny? Do you think Song Tae and Mr. Joe will let you go? What's more, now that I'm here, your expenses will be even higher. And that jar is premium liquor, very expensive, plus Dongchua's medical costs. I'm only saying this for your sake. If you don't want to embarrass yourself in front of everyone, just pay and leave." Seeing me remain silent, she continues, "Let me be clear. Even if you brought a chest of gold and silver, I wouldn't sleep with you. Although I work here, I don't sleep with just anyone." I say, "Let me also be clear. I never said I wanted to sleep with you. I only said I wanted to hear you sing a song. Now you can leave." Che Hyang freezes, not knowing what I mean. I repeat, "I'm telling you to leave." Outside the door, chaotic footsteps gradually approach. 3 guards with hostile expressions suddenly open the door. The leader says darkly, "Lee Jaha, it looks like you came here to die. Let's talk outside. It'll be hard to clean if we get bloodstains in the room." I calmly tell them to wait until I finish this jar of liquor. Hearing this, the 3 immediately get angry. I sneer, "You people should be confident you can take my life any time. Why the rush?" Seeing me so arrogant, they freeze. Then they laugh, their bodies shaking, and tell Che Hyang to leave first. Then they sit down directly and say disdainfully, "This should be your last drink in this life. Take your time. You've got guts. Coming here so boldly to drink, and even calling for Che Hyang. The beating you're about to get today isn't unjust." I don't answer, just ask if they want a cup. The guards snort disdainfully, ordering me to get lost since I finished drinking. I just continue lamenting. How dare they sell such poor quality liquor as premium? The guards don't understand why I'm like this, still wondering if I really got brain damage from the beating a few days ago. Finally, all the liquor is finished. Then I look at them and ask, "Am I that funny?" The guard asks back, "You idiot, don't you think you're funny? You could have just taken that beating and been done with it a few days ago, but you insisted on making it bigger." I can't help but laugh. The three guards don't understand, but they also laugh while drawing their swords. Then the table is suddenly flipped by me. They laugh too hideously. It really makes me sick. I immediately kick the table, sending it flying violently. The three weaklings immediately collapse on the ground, barely alive. I step on the table and ask coldly if they still find me funny now. The woman outside the door looks at this scene in disbelief. I stomp hard on those three people a few more times. Then I look up and tell the woman at the door to bring more of that inferior liquor. The woman who's been ordered is very unhappy. She insists it's not poor quality liquor but premium liquor. I say coldly with sarcasm, "Are you taking people for fools? Although I generally don't hit defenseless women, you'd better think carefully before speaking." The woman has no choice but to do as I ask. I turn my gaze back to the three half-dead guards and mockingly ask these bastards why they're not laughing anymore. "You said I'm a joke. Now I'm right in front of you. Why aren't you laughing anymore?" At this moment, Cha Song-tae walks in with a group of guards. I smile and greet him. Cha Song-tae angrily says, "I have a death wish." I coldly repeat, "A death wish?" Then I burst out laughing. Cha Song-tae can't hold back and attacks me. I quickly crouch and dodge his attack. Then a liquor bottle smashes on his head. The guards quickly surround me. I calmly ask who else wants to come. My powerful aura makes others afraid to act rashly. Cha Song-tae says in a low voice, "Li Jia Ha, looks like you really have a death wish," as he's about to draw his sword. I warn him to think carefully. "Once this sword is drawn, you'll lose your life." Cha Song-tae somehow senses I'm not joking. He doesn't understand what happened to me these past few days to change so much. I sneer, "You, the person in Riyang County who knows best when to back down, how can you still not see the situation? Do you think these three guys are lying here because of bad luck? And do you think I injured your eye just because I was lucky?" Cha Song-tae immediately falls silent. I warn him again to figure things out before attacking if he wants to live. Cha Song-tae understands I'm definitely not bragging. After all, he didn't even notice when I made a move just now. After thinking for a moment, he orders everyone else to withdraw. Then seeing I don't intend to just drink and leave, he asks what I want. "Do you want Mr. Zhou to apologize for what happened a few days ago?" I think that's a good idea. Cha Song-tae says he understands and will invite Mr. Zhou over. He turns and tells the servant to set up a banquet in the next room, then says to me, "Since you don't plan to take their lives, let them go back for treatment. It's not appropriate to kill neighbors, don't you think?" I don't speak, just quietly stare at him. Cha Song-tae doesn't understand why the guy who caused this trouble is looking at him with that kind of gaze. In the end, I still let those three people go. I go to the next room where the banquet is set up and sit down. Cha Song-tae asks puzzled how I changed so much suddenly. "Did you encounter some kind of special opportunity?" I ignore him and just stare at the liquor on the table. Seeing this, Cha Song-tae immediately plans to pour me a cup. This liquor is premium, with a rich aroma. I ask him this should be different from the liquor earlier, right? After all, that liquor tasted so bad, yet they called it premium liquor? Cha Song-tae immediately freezes. Then he quickly reacts and answers, "I suppose what they brought earlier was poor quality liquor. After all, we're running a business to make money. Please forgive us." I tell him to cut the nonsense and drink a cup first to show me. Understanding I want to see if the liquor is poisoned, he drinks a cup in one gulp. He casually probes again whether I was always this good at fighting. I just casually make an excuse, saying my grandfather told me not to fight, so I just held back a few times. Cha Song-tae of course hears I'm making it up, but there's nothing he can do about it. Then he apologizes to me anyway. "I apologize for what happened before. You were humiliated by my subordinates and acted this way. I completely understand. I'm getting a bit impatient. Your apologetic attitude and tone are very displeasing to me." Cha Song-tae remains silent without responding. I reach for the liquor bottle and say in a unpleasant voice, "Do I have to break your limbs before you'll learn?" Sensing the seriousness in my words, he instantly kneels on the ground. "I sincerely apologize to you. I've never knelt to anyone in this life. I'm truly sorry." Seeing the scene, Che Hyang can hardly believe her eyes. She doesn't understand why their terrifying manager is kneeling and bowing to apologize to an errand boy, and the manager even has injuries on his face. Did even he lose to that errand boy? Cha Song-tae frowns. "Che Hyang, what are you standing there for?" Seeing her come to his side, he quickly tells her to sit beside me. Hearing this, Che Hyang's body trembles as she sits beside me very uneasily. I call her name. She doesn't dare raise her head and answers respectfully, "Yes." I ask, "Do you know? Even an errand boy can feel love." Che Hyang freezes hearing this. But I continue, "But it has nothing to do with you. Leave now. Don't kill my appetite here." Seeing Che Hyang freeze instantly, Cha Song-tae shouts at her to leave quickly. Che Hyang leaves with a choke in her throat. Cha Song-tae says helplessly. She cried because of what you said. I call him coldly and warn, from now on, watch your words. Those narrow eyes of yours are killing my appetite. Cha Song-tae responds obsequiously, yes, I'll remember that. After waiting a long time, I wonder why Mr. Joe still hasn't come. Cha Song-tae explains to me that Mr. Joe is banqueting a group of masters from the Black Rabbit clan at the Pear Blossom Pavilion and can't get away. I ask puzzled, the Black Rabbit clan? Those guys with black swords? Cha Song-tae answers, that's right. The Black Rabbit clan has agreed to establish a new clan in Riyang County, so Mr. Joe went to please them. But unfortunately this happened today. I ask if he means that if I dare touch Mr. Joe, the Black Rabbit clan will definitely intervene. Cha Song-tae replies calmly, that's certainly the case. I say disdainfully, so what? When Mr. Joe comes, will we just drink and let bygones be bygones? Will that solve anything? Of course not. What do you think should be done? I say, make Mr. Joe and his brothers my subordinates. So the Black Rabbit clan can't say much. Seeing me talk so big, Cha Song-tae breaks into a sweat and asks if I think Mr. Joe will surrender easily. I'm not worried at all. Since you brought it up, why don't I just create a sect and you all follow me? Cha Song-tae can hardly believe what he's hearing. I remind him I'm giving him a chance and tell him to think carefully. If you think the Black Rabbit clan will defeat me, just side with your Mr. Joe. Cha Song-tae doesn't understand what's going on with me to have such a big change. After all, I'm just an errand boy, yet I can say so casually that I want to create a sect. Seeing me suddenly stand up and plan to leave, Cha Song-tae quickly asks me to wait. I turn back and ask, do you think I'm going to run away? He calmly responds, yes. I sneers. You have a real talent for asking to be punched. Cha Song-tae remains silent without responding. Then he stands up and says respectfully, take your time. We'll add today's costs to your account. Outside the door, a group of guards await orders. I immediately sneer and coldly shout at them to move aside. I then walk leisurely straight downstairs. The guard at the entrance has also woken up and is looking for me everywhere. I say mockingly, look, is the watchdog on duty now? The guard immediately tries to beat me. The back of my hand just lightly brushes his face, and he flies out like a cannonball. I tell the others to advise him well so he won't get beaten for nothing. Then I walk away easily. These people stare at my back, angry but afraid to speak. What a bunch of pathetic guys. I wander around for a while and discover the Dragonhead Forge on the side of the street. To defeat the Black Rabbit clan, I still need a weapon. At this time, the forge is still bustling. Deputy Forge Master Guak Ryong-gae notices me and thinks I'm here to collect a debt. I say I'm here to buy something. He asks if I want a sickle or a kitchen knife. I explain I plan to meet Mr. Joe, so I came to buy some handy weapons. Guak Ryong-gae also heard I got a lesson from them a few days ago. He reminds me not to joke with my life. I tell him to stop nagging and show me the weapons. I want a sword, a whip with good flexibility, and a sharp dagger. Guak Ryong-gae asks puzzled if I'm going to use all of those. I say that's none of his concern. Then Guak Ryong-gae orders someone to bring the Black Dragon sword, White Dragon whip, and Cloud Dragon dagger. Then he turns his head and says, I used to love eating the chicken head noodles made by your grandfather, but why did you do it so terrible? It tastes awful. I say now is not the time to talk about chicken head noodles. At this moment, 3 people walk out with weapons. Considering the urgency of the situation, I plan to buy all of these. Guak Ryong-gae tells me how many money I should pay, but it is clearly not money I can come up with right now. Guak Ryong-gae says that considering we're neighbors, he's already given me a big discount. I negotiate to give him some money first, let him lend me the weapons, and I'll return them immediately after use. This bandit-like statement immediately angers him. At this moment, a deep voice asks why we're making noise here. It is the Forge Master of Dragonhead Forge, Jeomcheol Ryong. Others immediately bow to him. Guak Ryong-gae explains the situation to Jeomcheol Ryong. Jeomcheol Ryong recognizes me as the grandson of the Jaha Inn's owner. I say politely, Uncle Jeom, long time no see. He says he always loved my grandfather's chicken head noodles, but mine taste really terrible. Then he says if I'm going to fight because the Joe brothers often make things difficult for me, he'll step forward to mediate. If they don't accept mediation, the Dragonhead Forge will also protect me. After all, he had some friendship with my grandfather. He thinks I don't need to make such a big deal out of this. Hearing this, I'm puzzled that he's this kind of person. And why didn't he say this to me before? Could it be that because I've changed, the future is different too? I reply, I appreciate your kindness, but I still want to solve this myself. He asks puzzled what I can do. I suggest he join forces with all the surrounding forges to create a sect together. Jeomcheol Ryong is surprised why I'm suddenly talking about this. I explain that if the Joe brothers establish a clan, then the money we have to pay will increase. So I plan to create a united sect in Riyang County to prevent nearby underworld clans from coming here to plunder wealth. All forges will be grouped as the Dragonhead sect, all construction will unite as the architecture sect. Other forces will also be classified and unified by industry. The scene immediately falls into silence. I continue saying I won't require everyone to pay money, and there will be no hierarchy between sects. I just don't want our hard-earned money to be taken by those unrelated people. Jeomcheol Ryong says my plan, though not rigorous enough, is very ambitious. So what will the united sect be called? I answer in a serious tone, something that hints at our status and situation. How about the Lowdown? Jeomcheol Ryong murmurs the name. He asks if I'm confident I can survive the fight with the Joe brothers. I confidently meet his gaze and answer, just wait and see. So Jeomcheol Ryong tells Guak Ryong-gae to just give me those weapons. When you come back alive, we'll talk about what comes next, then it's a deal. At night, I'm in a meditative state. Some disturbance makes me very unhappy, because a group of people are digging a hole in my yard. The second of the Joe brothers, Joe Igeol, is sitting and holding a dagger. He says to me, I was planning to dig the hole deeper before calling you out. Since you come, sit down, errand boy. I sit down directly across from him. Joe Igeol says coldly, today is a good day for us three brothers. With the Black Rabbit clan's permission, we can finally officially establish a clan in Riyang County, but an errand boy who can't even make noodles properly dares to cause trouble on my territory. So Li Jaha, before that hole is finished, give me 3 reasons to spare your life. I burst out laughing. He immediately gets angry. How dare you laugh at me? I say curiously, do you want me to cry instead? He immediately gets furious and tries to attack, but he fails to grab the dagger on the table. I hold his dagger and stare at him mockingly. Then I pin his left hand to the table. Now it's my turn to ask you. Give me a reason to spare your life. At this moment, the 3 people digging the hole say they're almost done. Joe Igeol tells him to dig deeper. He thinks he was just careless just now, and immediately attacks me again. But the next second, a cold flash crosses his arm. Then I viciously pin his right hand to the table. I ask him in a low voice what he wants to do with the hole. With a trembling voice, he explains it was just to scare me. I continue telling him to give me a reason to spare his life. Joe Igeol of course can't think of any so-called reason. Just as I expected. What right does someone like you have to live? Not only trafficking people but also treating lives like trash. Joe Igeol roars, if you kill me, my brothers and the Black Rabbit clan will never let you go. All but his words stop abruptly, because a dagger appears in his chest. I say coldly, I told you to give me 1 reason to spare your life, and you dared to threaten me. I glance at the now silent Joe Igeol, and turn to look at the remaining 3 people. Those idiots are still digging the hole. I tell them to stop digging. Only then do they realize something went wrong. I tell them not to be so surprised. He swung his blade at me, so I killed him. Hearing this, the 3 exchange nervous glances, not knowing what to do. The leading man asks tremblingly about my identity. What a strange question. Of course I'm the errand boy from the Jaha Inn. Then I tell them to take off their veils to see if I recognize any of them. Seeing their unfamiliar faces, I ask if they're from the Black Rabbit clan. They deny it, explaining they just arrived in Riyang County recently and currently work at the Pear Blossom Pavilion. In that case, I give them 2 choices. Do they want to all die here or bury this guy and go home? The lead man hurriedly says, as long as you spare my life, I'm willing to go home. Another person also quickly says, I have difficulties and can't return home, but I definitely won't go back to the Pear Blossom Pavilion either. I impatiently tell them to finish dealing with that body and disappear immediately. The last person carefully asks me, does your inn's kitchen need help? If I don't return to the Pear Blossom Pavilion, I'll really have trouble making a living. I ask him how his cooking is. Can he make chicken head noodles? The man says excitedly, of course, let me show my skills. I say helplessly, let him seriously think about his future first. The man answers respectfully, I see. Rest well. I close the door and look at someone in the room, and ask curiously what he's doing here. Cha Song-tae laughs. You really did kill Joe Igeol? I mock him that he's not blind. Why is he covering his eyes? He lightly touches the bandage and explains, this is part of my plan. I use the excuse of an injured eye to find a clinic and observe the situation from there. Otherwise the person digging that hole might have been me. I'm a useful person who knows when to back down. Don't you think so? Indeed, I can't deny that. Cha Song-tae chuckles and says this is his way of survival. Suddenly he becomes serious and asks how I plan to deal with the remaining 2 Joe brothers. Of course I'll kill them. Keeping them alive will only continue to harm Riyang County. Cha Song-tae reminds me that Joe Il-san is the most vicious bully in the Riyang County area. To kill him, it's better to be careful. But I just calmly tell him to go buy some food. There's only liquor here, no food. Cha Song-tae doesn't understand why I suddenly changed the topic. We were just talking about Joe Il-san. And how could the inn have no food? I insist there isn't any. He says helplessly, what a ridiculous inn. Well, give me some money and I'll go buy some. I shake my head and say, I don't have money either. Cha Song-tae really doesn't understand. This place used to be a famous chicken head noodle shop. How did it become so miserable? I tell him to stop talking and quickly go buy the food. Seeing him walk so elegantly, I call out to him. He turns back puzzled and asks, what? Are you taking a walk? Why are you walking so leisurely? Pick up the pace. Cha Song-tae is annoyed that he's been reduced to running errands for an errand boy, but he has no choice and can only quicken his pace. At this moment, that annoying voice asks him again if he's taking a walk. He immediately runs with frustration. Soon, Cha Song-tae buys the food and returns. I tell him to eat more. After all, this was bought with his precious money. Cha Song-tae says while eating, I'm enjoying the food. I continue, indeed, you should eat your fill. After all, this was bought with money you earned by exploiting young women and selling inferior liquor as premium. Hearing this, Cha Song-tae's chopsticks freeze in midair. I show a puzzled expression at the right moment. What's wrong? Why did the manager of the Plum Blossom Pavilion stop eating? Cha Song-tae throws down his chopsticks with a snap and downs his cup in one gulp. I ask without changing expression if he's angry already. But even with such provocation, he doesn't get angry. Instead, he brushes off my question lightly. That's right, I'm furious. The food I specially bought for you tastes so terrible. By the way, Joe Igeol is dead. If Joe Il-san is also dead, I'm worried the Black Rabbit clan will make a move. I say speechlessly, if you're worried, you should start training in martial arts. Don't go around running your mouth about being worried. Cha Song-tae completely loses it, slams the table angrily and demands, who are you? You're definitely not Lee Jaha, you must be someone disguised as him. Hearing this, I also darken my face, my gaze fierce. Are you looking for death? If you die, you won't be curious anymore, will you? Cha Song-tae immediately calms down. He suggests we uproot those Black Rabbit clan bastards completely. I say after finishing this drink, I'll go kill Jo Il-san. Since the third Jo brother, Jo Sampyeong's whereabouts are unknown, I'll kill Jo Il-san first. According to what Cha Song-tae knows, Jo Sampyeong should be returning soon. In that case, I ask if he can kill Jo Sampyeong with his strength. He says confidently, I'm Cha Song-tae. Kill that guy is more than enough for me. But my eye is injured now, so it might be a bit difficult. I unhappily tell him to give me a straight answer whether he can do it or not. Cha Song-tae laughs. I can lie and wait first, then strike unexpectedly. Haven't you heard about my legendary ambushes? Seeing him getting narcissistic again, I tell him to stop, then get straight to the point, asking if he can take control of the 3 brothels the Jo brothers operated once they're eliminated. He repeats, I'm Cha Song-tae. I shout angrily, enough! I know who you are, you punk! Considering some people make their living from the brothels, it's impossible to completely shut down the brothels immediately. I order Cha Song-tae to pay those workers properly and stop selling inferior liquor as premium. If anyone gets sick, take good care of them. If anyone wants to go home, let them go. Cha Song-tae says this is a bit difficult. I order him to do it even if it's difficult. He doesn't understand why I'm doing this. I darken my face and threaten, this is better than me ambushing you. Do a good job. If things are still a mess after you take over, I'll attack you and send you to meet the Jo brothers in the afterlife. Cha Song-tae is unhappy and complains, I really can't do this. You keep saying you'll kill me. Should I just retire and go live in the mountains? I say, go ahead. In that case, once things are done, I'll have someone else manage the 3 brothels. He immediately says confidently, I'm Cha Song-tae. It's too early to retire now. I finish drinking and then stand up. Cha Song-tae is startled and asks in horror what I'm doing taking off my clothes while drinking. I tell him to also take off his clothes and give them to me. Seeing him frozen in place, I urge him to hurry. Cha Song-tae says in a low aggrieved voice, damn it, you're just a bandit. Turning back and finding me staring at him quietly, he quickly explains he was talking about Jo Il-san. That damn bastard. Quickly wear my clothes and go kill him. By the way, you're really resourceful. Your clothes are too shabby. If you go to the Pear Blossom Pavilion like that, you might be stopped outside. I don't speak, just quietly listen to him ramble. Soon I finish putting on the clothes. Cha Song-tae immediately says obsequiously, you're so handsome. You may be an errand boy, but you don't look like one at all. Looking at you like this, you're truly distinguished. It seems the errand boy from the Jaha Inn looked like a beggar because he dressed like one. You're so handsome. So don't dress like a beggar normally. I directly punch him on the head and tell him to stop talking nonsense. I've discovered you're the type who easily oversteps when I am friendly to you. How did you learn to be so deserving of a beating no matter what you do and say? Then I plan to go kill Jo Il-san. Cha Song-tae quickly bows respectfully to see me off. Only after I walk away does Cha Song-tae quietly curse me as a bastard. Soon I arrive at the Pear Blossom Pavilion and ask the guard, is Mr. Jo Il-san inside? The guard is somewhat puzzled and respectfully asks where I'm from. I lie that I'm from the Black Rabbit clan and directly tell him to take me to see Jo Il-san. The guard continues to respectfully ask who I am. I immediately slap him across the face and say disdainfully, I don't have time for your nonsense. Stop nagging and lead the way. He immediately invites me in respectfully and brings me to the 2nd floor, telling me to wait a moment while he reports to Mr. Jo. The decorations are truly magnificent. I guess Jo Il-san arranged all this to establish his clan and entertain the Black Rabbit clan. Soon, Jo Il-san pushes the door open and walks in. He says politely, you look very unfamiliar. Seeing I dare to sit in his seat and don't even stand up, he's very displeased. But he still tries to suppress his displeasure and politely asks what I do in the Black Rabbit clan. I smile and ask if he really doesn't recognize who I am. The second before, Jo Il-san was still saying we haven't met. The next second he suddenly realizes and demands sternly, you're the errand boy from the Jaha Inn? Hearing the affirmative answer, he immediately rages. But he comes to his senses and asks puzzled, how are you still alive? My second brother clearly said he was going to eliminate you when he left. I sneer and explain, it's precisely because that bastard died that I'm alive. Hearing of Jo Il-jeol's death, he immediately rages and tries to kill me. As I strike with my palm, Jo Il-san immediately flies backward. After reacting, he barely manages to steady himself. He can't believe the inner energy of a mere errand boy is above his own. I say disdainfully, for someone who dominates Riyang County, you are surprisingly weak. Jo Il-san can't figure out what's going on. After all, I was clearly just an errand boy not long ago. I ask curiously why he doesn't attack. In that case, I'll have to attack first. Jo Il-san hurriedly gathers his inner energy to defend, but is still blasted away by my strike, not stopping until his body crashes heavily into the wall. Jo Il-san asks in terror how I have such powerful martial arts. I ask coldly in return, is only a bastard like you allowed to train in martial arts? And I'm not allowed to? You're truly sloppy. You've always done whatever you wanted, selling and killing villagers for such a long time. You are really sloppy, so go die. I press him to the ground. The entire Pear Blossom Pavilion shakes. Only then do the guards discover their master has been attacked. I say disdainfully, you idiots. What's the point of arriving after your master is already dead? Suddenly I remember I sneaked in by impersonating someone from the Black Rabbit clan. Then I have a good idea and lie that the Black Rabbit clan leader changed his mind and establishing a clan in Riyang County is postponed. The Jo brothers are an example. Whoever dares mention establishing a clan again will meet meet the same fate. I shout at them to move aside if they don't want to die, then I walk leisurely downstairs. At this moment, someone in the crowd wonders, isn't he the errand boy from the Jaha Inn? The crowd immediately stirs, and more people recognize my identity. I simply turn around directly and calmly admit I'm the errand boy. These guards immediately want to attack. I ask in a serious tone, as soon as you hear I'm an errand boy, you suddenly have courage? Whoever among you wants to be buried with Jo-il-san, step forward. I'll send him on his way immediately. Seeing none of these guys have the guts, I snort coldly and turn to leave. At this moment, someone carefully asks why I suddenly killed Jo-il-san. I ask in return, did that bastard even need a reason when he took others' lives? These guards are immediately speechless and let me leave. Soon I return home. Cha Song-tae asks puzzled, weren't you going to eliminate Jo-il-san? Why did you come back so quickly? I say disdainfully, he's already dead. Cha Song-tae can't believe I killed Jo-il-san so quickly, and I look completely unharmed. He can't help wondering what kind of opportunity I obtained. I remind him to clean up the dishes before leaving, and preferably clean the inn once. He curses inwardly, damn it, he dares order me to clean? That damn punk. Where did he put the rag? All urgent matters have been handled. I can finally focus on training. My power is growing faster than expected. I absolutely cannot miss this opportunity. Time flies. The sky darkens and brightens again. People on the street discuss how Jo-il-san was eliminated by the errand boy from the Jaha Inn. Hearing those comments, Cha Song-tae can't help but snicker. At this moment, I finally break through the first stage of the technique and enter the second stage. Although I reached this stage in my past life, my training speed now is much faster. This is no exaggeration. I'm certain my martial arts will definitely surpass my past life. However, the room is now a mess, with filth everywhere. This is all because impurities from my body were expelled during the breakthrough. Although the smell is very foul, this precisely shows my meridians and flesh have been completely renewed, and can now support my current power. At this moment, someone outside the door exclaims, "What's this smell?" Cha Song-tae's brow furrows from this sudden foul smell, not understanding what happened. I walk out of the room and greet him. He's immediately hit head-on by an even stronger smell, and can't help but step back twice, asking me suspiciously, "Did you shit? Damn it, if you need to go to shit, do it outside. How can you do it right in the room? This smell is too awful. You definitely did it more than once. I really want to beat him up badly now." A moment later, I lie comfortably bathing in a guest room at the Plum Blossom Pavilion. Thinking about how Cha Song-tae actually threatened me with a knife to have a shower, I really want to beat him up properly. At this moment, the room door opens, and Chae Hying walks in. I ask curiously what she's doing coming in. Chae Hying replies respectfully, "I'm here to serve you while bathing. It was Song-tae that sent me. After you finish bathing, I'll help you dry off." I tell her she doesn't need to come anymore. You don't need to do these things. I'll tell Cha Song-tae, "Didn't you say you sell your service, not your body? So just do as you said." I'm somewhat displeased that Cha Song-tae is meddling too much. Chae Hyang silently looks at me. First she thanks me, then apologizes for what happened before. I say it does not matter, as it is all in the past anyway. Chae Hyang asks puzzled at this moment, "Your martial arts are so powerful. Why didn't you fight back at that time?" I answer, "Only by getting beaten could I take revenge. There is a saying that a noble man may take up to 10 years to get his revenge, and my revenge started from getting beaten." Chae Hyang doesn't understand. Is there really such a saying? I think silently to myself, of course not, I just made it up. However, Cha Song-tae dares to use a honey trap. I don't fall for that. Cha Song-tae rushes in urgently. "Fire!" I say speechlessly, "It's just a fire. Do you need to make such a big fuss?" Cha Song-tae says, "It's your inn that's on fire." At this moment, a group of people are surrounding my inn. Jo Sam-pyong threatens the onlookers sternly. From now on, anyone who dares help or hide the errand boy from the Jaha Inn will be killed without mercy. Suddenly, a cold voice sounds behind him. "Your second brother is still buried in the inn's backyard. How can you just burn it down like this?" Jo Sam-pyong shouts angrily, "Who's there?" I calmly walk out from the crowd. Jo Sam-pyong asks puzzled, "Who are you?" I say annoyed, "You burned down the inn to find me and you're asking who I am." He can't believe I, an errand boy, seem like a completely different person. He turns to look at the man in black beside him. The man in black asks disdainfully, "You mean you want me to kill a mere errand boy? Didn't you say you and your brothers were going to establish a clan in Riyang County? You can't even handle an errand boy, yet you dare boast like that?" Jo Sam-pyong is incoherent, not knowing how to respond. The man in black thinks if he interferes in this matter, word will spread, and people in the martial world will mock him, so he tells Jo Sam-pyong to do it himself. "If you can't even handle an errand boy, you might as well go meet your brothers early." I also think the man in black makes sense and say to Jo Sam-pyong, "You should have a conscience. Don't push this onto others. You'd better do it yourself. How about burning the loser here?" The man in black sneers, "You're quite bold for a mere errand boy. Then I, Nungji-suk of the Black Sea Wolves, will witness this life and death duel between you two." Jo Sam-pyong curses inwardly, "Damn it, how could we three brothers be by a mere errand boy?" While I think to myself, Nungji-suk is really cunning. On the surface, it's for a fair duel, but actually he wants to gauge my strength through Jo Sam-pyong after looking at the burning inn. I turn and walk toward Jo Sam-pyong step by step. Jo Sam-pyong nervously urges me to draw my sword. I say disdainfully that to deal with someone like him, I don't need to draw my sword. Jo Sam-pyong is instantly enraged and charges at me roaring. I sidestep and easily dodge this attack, and punch him in the waist. He immediately flies backward with a crash. I directly call out what he's pretending. After all, I haven't used much inner energy yet. Jo Sam-pyong's scheme exposed, he attacks with his sword again in embarrassment and anger. I tell him coldly, You're really useless, just as useless as your two dead brothers. You all should disappear from this place forever. The next second, I directly seize his sword and strike, and he immediately falls to the ground. He is dead. The onlookers discuss among themselves, is he really the errand boy from the Jaha Inn? How did he kill Jo Sampyeong so easily? I look at the burning inn very unhappy. My inn didn't provoke anyone. At this moment, Nungji Suk praises me. What a duel. I testify this life and death duel had no problems. Then I'm looking forward to meeting you again. But I'm very unhappy now and call out to stop him. You think you can go anywhere? You bastard. Nungji Suk stops, his face darkening. How dare you to the Black Sea Wolves? I interrupt him, mocking that he doesn't need to brag about the damn Black Sea Wolves. He's just a bastard who wanted to kill me and set fire to the inn. You think you want to leave and I'll let you go? Nungji Suk doesn't respond and quickly runs away. I wonder what's going on. Then I leap up and chase after him. In a moment, I'm in front of him. He immediately begins gathering his power and strikes out. I split his attack with one sword strike. Nungji Suk only feels a chill on his body. Then his body splits in two, and I just quietly look at his corpse. Cha Song-tae in the crowd is secretly shocked seeing this scene. He didn't expect that in the end even Jo Sampyeong was eliminated by me. Seeing the strange man on the ground, Cha Song-tae can't help but wonder who's that guy. But I ignore him and turn to ask the remaining people why they burned my house. Do you also want to taste being burned by fire? The people Jo Sampyeong brought repeatedly beg for mercy. I angrily continue asking them why they burned my house. At this moment, Cha Song-tae steps forward and offers a guess. Could it be they burned it because the inn reeked? When I smelled that odor, I also had the impulse to burn it down. The crowd starts murmuring, how could the inn have a bad smell? Don't tell me someone shit inside. Seeing Cha Song-tae bring this up again, I get annoyed, thinking maybe I should just kill him too. I tell Cha Song-tae to come out and order him to lead these people to rebuild the Jaha Inn for me. Cha Song-tae doesn't understand why it's him again. I suppress my rage. Why? I've been too easy on you lately, so it seems like you are pretty confident you won't die by my hand. Cha Song-tae is silent for a while, then replies obsequiously, since we're rebuilding, we must definitely build it better than before. This place is so large. I'll build you a luxurious 2-story inn, but I tell him to build high walls around it, expand the internal space, build a training ground, and add a back courtyard. Cha Song-tae breaks into a sweat and asks, you mean you want to build a martial arts training hall, not an inn, right? I say to build a martial arts training hall that looks like an inn, and I instruct him to pay attention during construction to see if there are people with exceptional skills in architecture. Hearing this, Cha Song-tae asks, are you going to form the organization you mentioned before? But those people from the Black Rabbit clan will never just stand by. I answer, if they don't behave, I'll deal with them, of course. By the way, let me clarify, although it's an organization, everyone just needs to do their own job. Cha Song-tae asks, what's our future organization called? The Lowdown? That was the organization I first created in my past life. I didn't expect to have the chance to rebuild it now. Through these past few days of observation, Cha Song-tae is convinced I'm not the Lee Jaha he knew before, so he wants to ask me a question. Why didn't you kill me back then? I say I just wanted to torment him a bit longer. Cha Song-tae is startled, then he nods with relief and says, I see. This is indeed better than killing me directly. At night, I train my inner energy non-stop at the Plum Blossom Pavilion. I understand that someday this extra bit of training might save my life. After all, I had such experiences in my past life. Meanwhile, Cha Song-tae is directing everyone to rebuild the Jaha Inn. After who knows how long, I stopped training, because Cha Song-tae says 2 people from the Black Rabbit clan have come. He took those 2 to the Plum Blossom Pavilion first and asks what to do next. Of course I need to meet them. I know they'll definitely use the excuse of investigating my elimination of Mr. Joe to make me pay money and join the Black Rabbit clan. Cha Song-tae asks urgently, if they make such demands, what do you plan to do? With our current situation, being enemies with the Black Rabbit clan is indeed troublesome, I answered disdainfully. It's troublesome for you all, not me. Cha Song-tae flies into a rage and demands, do you want us all to go to our deaths? I still explain calmly, before eliminating you all, they'll definitely try every means to eliminate me first, but I won't die. Cha Song-tae immediately falls silent. Soon, under his guidance, I arrive at the Plum Blossom Pavilion, where the Black Rabbit clan people are. Cha Song-tae says please take your time and closes the door to leave. The thin one introduces himself as someone from the Gold Mountain Palace of the Black Rabbit clan, named Jeon Pung. The fat one introduces himself as Hango UK from the Gold Mountain Palace. They don't understand why I'm so calm when I already know who they are. Jeon Pung demands first, you recently killed the Joe brothers. Is this true? I answer casually, indeed it is. Then I ask them why they're inquiring about this. Are you the Joe brothers family? But you don't have the same surname. The 2 exchange glances, both not understanding how I dare to be so arrogant and rude. They guess I might not know my place after killing the Joe brothers. Or perhaps I have powerful backing. Seeing them remain silent, I urge them to answer my question. But they still maintain their silence. I can't help but think more highly of them, sighing that they're indeed used to dealing with people and don't rashly attack. At this moment, Jeon Pung breaks the silence first. We permitted the Joe family to establish a clan, but you killed them. I ask him, so what? He answers with a stern face. If we report this truthfully to the Black Rabbit clan, your life will definitely be in danger. I sneer, thinking just as I expected. I directly ask them, as long as I give you silver like the Joe brothers did, that's fine, right? Jeon Pung smiles. It looks like you're not so stupid. In that case, I suggest we drink first before talking. I call out to the woman waiting outside the door and tell her to bring that so-called premium liquor and some food. The woman thinks to herself, what does he mean by so-called premium liquor? Then she realizes, it's that liquor from last time. She bows and replies, understood, and withdraws. Han Go UK says, drinking is great, but we still hope you can handle this matter properly. I sneer and tell them to just drink their liquor first. Han Go UK suddenly explodes angrily. I've been tolerating you for a long time. You must be out of your mind. I ask coldly, are you trying to pick a fight? They really don't understand where I get the confidence to be so arrogant. Do I really have backing? I remain calm and unhurried. Let me ask you one question. Do you think the Black Rabbit clan you rely on can save you two brothers? Think about it. If I was afraid of offending the Black Rabbit clan, would I have eliminated the Joe brothers? Of course, I believe your strength is definitely above the Joe brothers. After all, they were really useless. Hearing my threatening words, they immediately break into a cold sweat. I remind them that if they don't answer me before the food and liquor arrive, I'll assume they want to fight to the death with me. At this moment, footsteps gradually approach from outside the door. My eyes radiate coldness as I watch the two. The woman enters and sees this strange scene. The two are very sensible and smile. Don't worry, we have our own explanation for the Black Rabbit clan. There won't be a problem. By the way, you did well with the Joe brothers. We found them distasteful long ago. A moment later, they run out of the Plum Blossom Pavilion in a panic. Cha Song-tae asks curiously, you just let them go like that? But I know that if I killed them, it would give the Black Rabbit clan an excuse to come. Anyway, they don't care who controls Riyang County. They just need the person in charge to obey them. And there's another person in this area I must be vigilant about. I tell Cha Song-tae I'm going to train and have him temporarily serve as manager of the lowdown. I remind him that if he doesn't do well, I'll remove him from the manager position. Cha Song-tae asks curiously, what happens if I'm removed? I say that would naturally be equivalent to a death sentence. Suddenly I stop, turn back to congratulate him on his promotion to manager, and tease him that he's finally made it. Only after I walk away does Cha Song-tae sigh resentfully, life is hard. After that, I go to the noodle shop to meet GM Cheol Ryong. GM Cheol Ryong has also heard I killed all three Joe brothers, but he knows the Black Rabbit clan won't let this go. He worries the young people here will suffer. I wonder, was he this kind of person before? However, thinking back, in my past life he also strongly opposed having to pay money to Joe brothers. I reassure him they probably won't come for now. Even if they do, I'll take full responsibility alone. GM Cheol Ryong didn't expect I actually plan to face the Black Rabbit clan alone. He laughs loudly. It seems that you should treat me to this bowl of noodles today. I break into a sweat. You're actually making a poor errand boy treat you? GM Cheol Ryong says seriously, you're not an errand boy now. You're the honorable master of the lowdown. The shop owner Duke Soo asks curiously, what's the lowdown? I tell him he also belongs to the lowdown, but Duke Soo is puzzled. He doesn't remember joining. I say anyone I know counts as having joined. Hearing this, he can't help but laugh. Then I add, therefore, when I come to eat in the future, I don't need to pay. He immediately turns hostile, snatches away my noodles, and asks in a low voice, customer, what are you doing? At this moment, someone shouts, Lee Jaha, come out here. A man in black quietly stares at me. Duke Soo immediately changes his expression and smiles. Master, someone's looking for you outside. GM Cheol Ryong also reminds me, Master, please be very careful. I'm speechless that they only call me master when they need me to handle trouble. At this moment, it begins to drizzle again. The man in black asks coldly, did Noonji Sake of the Black Sea Wolves die by your hand? I think for a while before remembering that useless guy. The man in black introduces himself as Yseon Wu of the Black Sea Wolves. I do remember him who is called the Linked Blades of the Twin Ghosts. He's the guy who offended me in my past life and died by my hand. Although he looks quite young now, it's definitely him. Yseon Wu asks me what reason I had for killing Noonji Sek. I answer calmly, because he burned my house. Yseon Wu sneers, then you certainly had a reason to kill him. Of course you'll die too, I tell him coldly. Things in this world won't all go as you wish, or rather, 9 out of 10 things in this world don't go as wished, like the fact you have no hair. A thunderclap roars. Yseon Wu attacks in rage. His offensive is very fierce. I know the Linked Blades of the Twin Ghosts originally consists of 2 people. The other one called Gu Yong-su should be hiding in the shadows, looking for a chance to attack me. If I show even a hint of weakness now, then Gu Yong-su will take advantage to kill me. Cha Song-tae rushes over at this moment. I tell him the opponent is a master. Seeing the damn rain blocking his vision, he takes off his eye patch. I remind him there should be another person nearby and tell him to be careful. He looks around but doesn't see anyone. At this moment, a person flips down from the roof. Finally, they're all here. Yseon Wu wonders how I knew there were 2 of them. He reminds Gu Yong-su, be careful, he is hiding his true strength. The 2 attack from both sides simultaneously. At this moment, Cha Song-tae shouts, you Baldy, I'll take you on too, watch your back. Do you know my nickname? It doesn't matter if you don't know now, you'll understand after you are killed by me. So get ready. All 3 are stunned by his strange speech. He continues saying to Yseon Wu, Baldy, I'll chop you first. Stick your bald head over here. Yseon Wu can't hold back, and immediately attacks Cha Song-tae in anger. Cha Song-tae hurriedly raises his sword to block, but is still knocked flying, and falls to the ground motionless. I can't help but be startled at first, looking at the motionless Cha Song-tae. I tell him to stop pretending and get up quickly. He didn't expect me to see through his act so easily, and says resentfully, I rolled on the ground for nothing and got covered in mud. I shout angrily, who are you trying to fool? Cha Song-tae argues, If it wasn't raining, I definitely could have fooled them flawlessly, and then kill them when they weren't paying attention. Why Xian Wu on the side trembles with anger hearing this. Cha Song-tae suddenly provokes inexplicably again that Baldy is trembling all over. Maybe because he has no hair and is getting rained on, he's too cold. How pitiful. Why Xian Wu rages and immediately tries to kill him. I block this strike for Cha Song-tae. Then we Xian Wu's other sword suddenly strikes out, but it is still easily blocked by me. After that, we quickly pull apart. By the way, since my rebirth, this is the first time I have the feeling that fighting is actually such a pleasant thing. Gu Yangsu is surprised I'm actually smiling. I slowly draw the sword in my hand. My entire body radiates a powerful aura. Not only are Wai Xian Wu and Gu Yangsu surprised, even Jiam Chil, Ryong, and Duke Su watching from the noodle shop are startled. The sword is glowing red. That's actually sword energy. Wai Xian Wu and Gu Yangsu realize I'm no simple opponent and immediately decide to strike first. But the next second, as a sharp red sword light flashes, they fall to the ground and just like that, they are dead. For a moment, only the sound of rain remains. Cha Song-tae says respectfully, "Very well done." Seeing him so obsequious, I'm speechless that he's not normally like this. Cha Song-tae asks curiously who they are. I tell him the Black Sea Wolves. Cha Song-tae has heard of this force and sighs that the current situation is a complete mess, but I just want to go take a bath quickly and tell him to handle this. Jiam Cheol Ryong watches my departing back thoughtfully. My strength has indeed improved faster. Those two people shouldn't have been killed by me so early. However, I now have another trouble to solve with the Black Sea Wolves, which makes me a bit irritated. Suddenly I notice the noise outside has gotten quieter. Two people with hostile expressions burst through the door. They are Song Woo Jin, manager of the Pear Blossom Pavilion, and Yu Jun Gu, manager of the Persimmon Blossom Pavilion. I ask coldly if Cha Song-tae called them here. Without a word, they directly attack me. The bathtub suddenly explodes. I charge out of it like a demon. Then I use my inner energy to blast both of them away. You are truly pathetic. I guess they dared to attack me because they saw I was bathing without weapons. I can't help but think of Cha Song-tae. I ask the guard where Cha Song-tae is. The guard answers trembling that the manager isn't here now. I warn him in a low voice to confess honestly. The guard quickly explains, after manager Cha went out earlier, I haven't seen him. I silently turn and leave. Although I don't know if this matter is related to Cha Song-tae, but since he pointed his blade at me, he must die. Suddenly I hear Cha Song-tae's cursing. I quickly walk toward the source of the sound, but along the way, there are corpses everywhere. Soon I find him in an alley. Cha Song-tae in the crowd is already surrounded and in grave danger. Seeing him like this, I'm also stunned. The others also notice me. I say mockingly, Cha Song-tae, you're still alive. Cha Song-tae shouts at me, save me quickly. Seeing I still have the mood to tease him, tears flow down uncontrollably, and he shouts angrily, you bastard! The scene immediately falls silent. Cha Song-tae asks me angrily, what are you standing there for? Save me quickly. I say annoyed, is this your attitude for asking for help? The others hesitantly turn their swords toward me. I ask coldly, what are you standing there for? Hold your swords properly and attack me. Their numerical advantage gives them their so-called confidence. Although they've heard some rumors of uncertain truth, in their eyes I'm just an errand boy. With just one move, these people immediately fall silent. Cha Song-tae immediately becomes arrogant and curses, you bastards, how dare you ambush me? He raises his head and meets my gaze, and asks moved if I came specifically to save him. I mercilessly shatter his fantasy, explaining that I originally planned to kill him personally after finding him. He immediately feels wronged and asks angrily, why? I say I thought he was also involved in this matter. Only then does he realize someone also ambushed me. I mention those two people's names. Cha Song-tae curses furiously, those bastards. They still haven't figured out the situation. In that case, the misunderstanding between us should be cleared now, right? I answer indifferently, it seems like it. Cha Song-tae immediately feels brushed off. I ask him how many more people from Ryong County, not the Black Rabbit clan, I need to kill like this. I know they dare to do this because they still think I'm just an errand boy. Then I turn to ask Cha Song-tae warningly how much longer before these boring incidents stop happening. He immediately bows his head. I'll resolve this matter right away and won't trouble you with it anymore, master. I tell him he must take it seriously. He answers, yes. I say again, you must take it seriously. He answers, I'll do my best. I'm somewhat annoyed. I just finished bathing and got dirty again. The following days are somewhat peaceful. I focus my mind on serious training. A month quickly passes. I find it strange that after a whole month, so little has been built. Cha Song-tae explains they expanded the construction scale of the inn, and it will take about a year to complete. I ask if it can't be faster. He also wants to finish it quickly, but it's not something that can be solved just by adding more workers. Fortunately, since he found a good construction manager, the building speed seems to have improved. At this moment, Cha Song-tae notices that person walking this way, and introduces him to me as that construction manager. I recognize him as Yom Ja-song. When I was still master of the lowdown in my past life, he was a very famous craftsman. I didn't expect to meet him here. Cha Song-tae also introduces my identity to Yom Ja-song. This is our master. He introduces himself. My name is Yom Ja-song. Uncle Jiam Cheol Ryong recommended me to come here. He said if I do this well, I'll have the chance to become the head of the construction clan, and I won't need to pay money to the sect. Is that true? Hearing an affirmative answer, he happily says he'll do his utmost to build the Jaha Inn well. But before that, he has a request. I want to set up tents there to solve the craftsmen's food and lodging problems. Master, if you could occasionally buy us some good food to improve our meals, that would be even better. I chuckle upon hearing this, and order Song Tae to send workers from the Plum Blossom Pavilion, Pear Blossom Pavilion, and Persimmon Blossom Pavilion here every day to make delicious meals for the craftsmen. After that, I go to Dragonhead Forge. GM Cheol Ryong smiles, Master, you've come. You met Ja Song, right? He's a very capable young man who will definitely work diligently day and night to do it well. I didn't expect Yeom Ja Seong knew Uncle GM Cheol Ryong. However, having Yeom Ja Song join the lowdown is absolutely beneficial with no harm. Then GM Cheol Ryong continues, Master, I want to give you a gift. If you want any weapon, just say it. I ask him if he's ever forged weapons that could be called great swords or precious blades. He answers directly, no. After all, forging those things not only doesn't make money, but once famous, it would attract villains to seize the treasure and even cost lives. Even if we're lucky enough to sell it for a good price, people will come to force us to forge identical weapons. These reasons are indeed very convincing. In that case, I tell him I want a weapon. It doesn't need to be sharp, and the weight doesn't matter. It just needs to be tough enough. Hearing this, GM Cheol Ryong says a staff or spear could work. Then he asks if I have any requirements for appearance. I say no. GM Cheol Ryong smiles, understood. I'll definitely give you such a gift in the future, then I won't be polite. After wandering for a while, two people block my way. They both have hostile expressions. I also darken my face. What's going on? The man asks, are you Master Lee Jaha? I decisively walk past them and answer, no, I'm just an errand boy. The man immediately gets anxious. Please wait. I stop and look at him. He introduces himself as Hyuk Ryan Hong, messenger of the Black Rabbit Clan, here to convey orders from above. I don't understand what the Black Rabbit Clan people want with me. He says the master of the Gold Mountain Palace wants to see me. Then he continues threateningly, since the master didn't send assassins but sent me to invite you, you'd better not refuse. Because after I return, next time it will be assassins who come. Hearing this, my gaze instantly turns cold, my eyes sweeping over him as if looking at a dead thing.